Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. First of all, what is your view on politics? I believe many people, including myself, would say that politics is dull, dirty, and even a bit yacht. Some people would even relate it to political parties, which needs to be avoided. I believe these are on our mind since we were small, as we have been indoctrinated by views that we are too young to be or get involved in politics. Politics is actually much more than what we could have imagined, as it is something worth to know and learn. So today, I, Mohamad Rafiq Rahimi Razali from SMK Razali RASHID, will review an amazing book called Politik untuk Pemula or Politik for Beginners. This book was written by Aiman Rashdan Wong and was published by a well-known publishing company, which is Patriots Publication. It consists of 26 chapters and 270 pages, which were made of acid-free papers. It was published on March of 2021, about a year and a half ago, where which the world was still struggling to fight against coronavirus at that time. I actually felt pretty proud, as I was one of the early birds that managed to get my hands on this amazing masterpiece written by the same writer of the bestseller book, which is Dunia Tanpa Tembok or World Without Walls. This book is a good introduction to the political world. It tells us about the origin of politics. Why do we have politics? Why specific ideology exists? The types of government, the meaning of government, and a lot more. In other words, this book is like with the world of politics gets compressed into a small rectangular object, which shows how great the book is. Although it has been criticized for some of its misleading points, I actually find this book to be an eye-opener. There is a chapter in this book which tells us about Malaysian political characteristics and its future, which I think is a very significant topic to read, as it will boost our patriotism and helps us in enriching our historical knowledge. What I like the most about this book is that it tells and elaborates mostly about major political ideologies like socialism, conservatism, and liberalism. This book is such a mind-blowing book as it totally changes my initial perception towards politics. Many people believe that all ideologies are bad because we often heard that communists are cruel and evil. I wouldn't change these perceptions, as we Malaysians have actually been oppressed and colonized by communists back then, which made us to label them as villains. Interestingly, as we go through this book, we will find a group of communists that is actually kind and virtuous in the sense that they doesn't like to use weapons or guns, as they love peace. Besides that, my personal opinion that capitalism is a perfect ideology because it managed to rank high in the world's economy is also wrong. Capitalism, which seems like huge success in the eyes of the world, is the real villain, as their domination in the world's economy managed to create a huge gap between the rich and the poor. These are the things in this book that uplift my mind and thoughts about politics. The other thing that I like about this book is that it uses no pro-text, which makes the letters doesn't seem too close to each other and they are big. There are also spaces in between lines and pictures in almost every page, which gives the readers the impression that this book has not too much words in the page and they are able to finish this book in a short time. Aiman also uses high frequency words, which helps the readers to get to hook up with this book. All these helps in keeping the readers excited to read the book until the end. As for the cover of this book, I am glad to say that it is such a brilliant and amazing design. I know a lot of people say, never judge a book by its cover. But as for this book, you know it's going to be a splendid time of reading just by looking at its cover. J.K. Rowling once said, a good first impression can work wonders. It was pretty much love at first sight. The cover was illustrated by Alif Azmi. The cover is actually a picture of a poker card, but with a twist, which is there is a Malaysian politician swearing, and if it is turned upside down, a picture of a clown is portrayed. There are also all four Aces symbols seen, which I think summarizes that all politicians are the same, and the unique poker card design symbolizes the dynamic world of politics. Through some research, I found that the design making of this book started in November of 2019, about 17 months before the book's release. The cover was originally for another of Aiman's book, which is Dunia Tanpa Tembok 3 or World Without Wall 3. The cover was initially a picture of a poker king card, but with a cycle of hypocrite behind the king. Unfortunately, the design was rejected and later improvised to be used as this book's design cover. The only thing that I would really change about this book's design is the theme color of cream and orange. In my opinion, it makes the book looks boring as it contradicts the writer's idea to convey the colorful world of politics. So, I would really suggest to print this book in more vibrant color like blue or green. Why should we buy this book? My answer is that it is simple yet insightful. This book helps us obtain a better understanding of politics. If we choose to be ignorant of how politics works, then we are jeopardizing our own lives to be determined by others. Plato asserts that if you do not take an interest in the affair of your government, then you are doomed to live under the rule of fools. In other words, we should at least learn how politics works so that we can control our own life. Thus, I would highly recommend to all Malaysians to buy this book to get a clear view of politics and how it is executed in our country. So, grab yours now at www.thepatchestore.com or at Shopee for RM35 only. That's all from me. I am Mohamad Rafiq Rahimi Razali. Thank you for listening.